Hello and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering draft video. This is how to draft MTG. Today we're looking at my Dominaria United Beginner's Draft Guide. As always, I'll invite you to please click like and subscribe if you enjoy what we're doing here on the channel. It does help us a huge amount. This is a beginner's guide to drafting Dominaria United. Dominaria United is an extremely deep set, and this is in no way intended to be a full, in-depth format overview. Rather, I hope this will help less experienced drafters who are looking to dip their toe into an awesome draft set. Let's get into it. If you're just starting out in Dominaria United Draft, I would recommend focusing on the colors white and blue. White and blue separately or together are the two colors I recommend drafting as base colors for most decks. They have lots of excellent commons, have built-in synergy, and pair well with all of the other colors. Black, red, and green, on the other hand, are more difficult to draft and tend to function better in supporting roles, rather than as base colors for your deck. Red is the best supporting color for both white and blue, which makes it a good color to start in as well. Even when starting a draft with a powerful card in another color, for example, Lightning Strike, consider how that card will best pair with white or blue, as you're most likely to end up in one of those colors by the end of the draft. Let's talk about some premium white and blue uncommons. I'm happy to take any of these early and try to establish myself as base blue, base white, or blue-white by the end of pack 1. These are Battlewing Mystic, Frost Fist Strider, Knight of Dawn's Light, Phyrexian Missionary, Prayer of Binding, Wrath Weatherlight Stalwart, and Wingmantle Chaplain, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the Defenders archetype. White's strategy is tokens aggro. White asks us to amass a large army of creatures with cards like Argivian Cavalier and Captain's Call to enable payoffs like Argivian Phalanx and Heroic Charge. Premium white commons include Argivian Cavalier, Take Up the Shield, Destroy Evil, Argivian Phalanx, and Citizen's Arrest. White is currently the winningest color according to 17lands.com data and pairs very well with all of the other colors. All of the white-based color pairs are viable, and I've listed them in order of highest to lowest win rate, along with some key cards to look out for. Starting with white-red, we've got Baird Argivian Recruiter, Lightning Strike, Keldon Strike Team, Goblin Picker, and Cleaving Skydiver. In white-green, we've got the oh-so-powerful Strength of the Coalition, Nishoba Brawler, Tail Swipe, and Magnagoth Sentry. This deck is a little bit better supported at uncommon as opposed to common. For white-black, we have Phyrexian Missionary with the Kicker available to us, Elas or Elash, Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim, Cult Conscript, Extinguish the Light, and Phyrexian Rager. And finally, white-blue, which is still quite an excellent deck. We have Wrath Weatherlight Stalwart as a bomb uncommon, Protect the Negotiators, Tolarian Geyser, and Shore Up, along with so many other blue cards that are viable for this deck. Blue's strategy is instants and sorceries. Blue asks you to include lots of instants and sorceries in your deck. Cheap spells that draw cards, such as Tolarian Geyser, Phyrexian Espionage, Timely Interference, and Impulse, along with honorable mention to Shore Up, which doesn't draw a card, but is still excellent. These cards enable payoffs like Tolarian Terror and Haunting Figment. Many of these are currently wheeling in drafts, meaning if you see them picks 1 through 3, you can pass on them and pick them up picks 9 through 11 when the pack comes back around the table. Blue's top commons are Tolarian Geyser, Talus or Talish Lookout, Essence Scatter, Phyrexian Espionage, and Tolarian Terror. Pick these highly to establish yourself in blue. The other colors support Blue's strategy quite well. I've listed them again in order of win rate. All these color pairs are viable, with the exception of maybe blue-green, which is a little bit weaker. Starting with blue-red, Fires of Victory, Balmor Battlemage Captain, Lightning Strike, Flowstone Infusion, and Gitu Amplifier are all excellent places to turn to in blue-red. Blue-white, again, we've got Wrath Weatherlight Stalwart, one of my favorite cards in the format. Take Up the Shield, Captain's Call, Destroy Evil, and Protect the Negotiators. All these white and white adjacent spells are excellent in powering up the blue spell side of things. Blue-black, we have Rona's Vortex with the kicker enabled, which is quite powerful. Vohar, Vidalian Desecrator, Tribute to Urborg, again with that kicker enabled. Extinguish the Light, and Urborg Repossession. If you can splash green for the kicker, that's great, but even if you can't, a 1-mana spell like this is going to be quite good. And finally, blue-green, the least winningest of these decks, the least likely to get into, but if you get some good uncommons, it can really get there. Tatyova, Steward of Tides, Tail Swipe, Bite Down, and Vine Shaper Prodigy are also more likely to splash other colors in a blue-green base deck. Let's talk about the Defenders deck, the hot ticket of Dominaria United early on. If you see a Wingmantle Chaplain early in the draft, it is worthwhile to build around it by drafting lots of creatures with Defender. I would not recommend forcing this deck without Wingmantle Chaplain, as it is a very popular deck right now and you don't want to be fighting the other drafters for it. It is one of the most powerful strategies in the format when it comes together, but please be aware that the deck cannot function without at least one copy of Wingmantle Chaplain. Other key pieces of the deck, we've got Shield Wall Sentinel. As many of these as you can get, they can search up each other, they can search up Wingmantle Chaplain. This is really what makes the deck work. Floriferous Vine Wall for a little bit of fixing and some early game. Gibbering Barricade for the sacrifice synergy with the Chaplain bird tokens. And Urborg Repossession to get back your Chaplain if it dies. We're looking for 8 or more defenders and can fill in the rest of the deck with interaction like Citizen's Arrest, Extinguish the Flame, Card Draw, or creatures with flying, depending on which colors you have access to. You'll want to prioritize some dual lands as well to allow yourself to play multiple colors. Finally, let's talk about multicolor Domain Green. This is not for the faint of heart, but it can be a fun and powerful path to go down, especially if you open a great rare like Herd Migration, Rith Liberated Primeval, or Drag to the Bottom. You'll want to prioritize the common dual lands as they add 2 types to your domain count and will position you to be able to play the best cards you open or get past in the draft. My favorite domain payoffs at common and uncommon include Bortuk Bone Rattle, Gaia's Might, Joda's Codex, Maria's Outrider, Neshoba Brawler, Rada Coalition Warlord, the Weatherseed Treaty, and Zar Ojanin, Scion of Ephrafa. Hopefully I got that one right. Honorable mention goes to Yavimaya Sojourner, which is not as powerful, but is a card that will sometimes wheel, so you can keep your eye out for it early in packs. And if you find yourself going down this route, you can count on it coming back some of the time. That's going to do it for this one. I hope you found this guide to be helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please do click like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos, and leave a comment with your feedback or questions below. You can also reach me at howtodraftmtg@gmail.com with your feedback, or if you'd like to inquire about private coaching. Thank you once again. Best of luck in your drafts. Bye for now.